Earl Nightingale's The Greatest Secret, his thesis, or his thesis of that thing, that speech that he gave, is that only 2%, 2 out of 100 people actually make the grade. And that's every area. So that's, and you can divide your life up into areas. You're looking at spiritually, you're looking at financially, you're looking at relationship, you're looking at health, you're looking at, I don't know, there's a ton, you can just divide it up as many ways as you want to, any areas, how emotionally, there's another area. How emotionally stable are you? 2 out of 100 people will make the grade in any of those areas. Now, why is that? And his thesis is people just don't think. His thought process is people just don't think. It just gives me chills to think about that. The potential that you have being formed in the image of God, being made in the likeness of God with free will, being born in America where we live, the potential that we have is just mind-boggling. We just don't think about it. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I don't know why I didn't think about it as a kid. But so how can I help? Quotes for my kids. How do I get people to see, hey, wake up, really, really wake up to this and know that there's a huge opportunity here that you don't need to pass by. So my thesis was making change. How do you make change in every one of those areas, any of those areas, to become part of the 2%? If your life is sucking in whatever area, financially, emotionally, spiritually, relationships, any of that stuff, how do you change that? How do you not just stay stuck in the ebb of whatever place you're at in life? How do you do that? Books been written on every subject you can imagine, self-improvement, self-help, and all that. None of those things, they can get you hyped up for a minute if somebody says something really good, but none of those things actually have lasting change to them without discipline. And that's the spoiler. The whole deal is, if you just want to turn it off right now, and next YouTube video, is that you got to have discipline. But I got, my thesis today is 1,000ths, 0.001 will change your life. No kidding, and without fail. I've never seen it not do it. 1/1000ths. All right, so I take you and divide you up into 1,000 pieces. This is where I am, and not just you as a whole. Let's say you financially. That's easier seeing that. But really you as a person in any area. Divide you up into 1,000 pieces. Can you do something in a positive direction? Can you make a positive move, consistent move, 1/1000ths better than what you're doing right now? It may be as simple, let's say it's a relationship thing. It may be as simple as smiling at somebody every day. It could be as simple as sending an email or a text message to somebody not somebody particular, but anybody. The Bible says, a friend must show himself friendly, basically. So if you want to improve your relationships, you be a better friend. You want better friendships, you be a better friend. You want more money, you be a better employee, you be an entrepreneur, you be something, because all that's value exchange, money, all this stuff. 1/1000ths, make an improvement, 1/1000ths in every area. Relationship, spirituality, finances, courage, intelligence in who you are and who you want to be in your whole life. 1/1000ths. You do the math on that. And this also feeds into the roadblock, but if you do the math on that and you take 1.001, that's adding 1/1000ths to what you are today at 1 and adding 1/1000ths to it. You multiply that times 10 days, you get 1.01. Or you raise that to the 10th, which would be, because compounding is what comes into effect here. You're doing something every single day, compounding comes into effect. So 1.001 raised to the 10th, 10 days, gives you 1.01. Negligible difference. You don't see it. 30 days, raise it to 30 days, 1.03. Still no difference. You can't look in the mirror and tell the workout's working. Nobody is smiling back at you. Like you can't tell the difference. That's where people fail. That's where the discipline comes in. It's where the discipline comes in. You have to stay with it even though you're not seeing anything. That's the short and the skinny, the discipline. Now raise that to 365 days. Let's say you can stick with it a year. That number is 1.44. Oh, so now I've got a 44% change. There's actually something going on. I can feel the ground moving. I can see the water shaking. There, people are smiling back at me for some reason or another. I got a call from an old friend that I hadn't talked to in 3 years. Whatever the thing is. Oh, by the way, I got a raise at work. I've been compounding my efforts over and over and over again, and they have made a difference. Now, the magic, like all that's great, 44% is great. If you can stay with that for 10 years, I just added a 0 to the end of it. If you take 1.001 and raise it to 3,650 days instead of 365 days, that compounded number is 38.4. 38.4. Can you imagine? You can't even imagine. I can't imagine who I am if I consistently do the right things. I discipline myself to make positive motions in every area of this. I could be a completely different human being. You wouldn't even recognize me. 38.4 change from who I am today. And that could be in any area or in all areas if you're willing to put in the work. That's amazing. Like those people are, that's an exceptional human being. I think you get to realize who you actually could be, who God actually allowed. He put the potential in there, gave you all these different, I don't want to say abilities, but he gave you life and free will. And then how do you realize that? 38.4, incredible number, different human being. The metaphor. And I heard this on Frizella's podcast or somebody else's podcast, but I heard it from him. Chinese bamboo. All right, Chinese bamboo. What's so special about Chinese bamboo is you take a seed, Chinese bamboo seed, you plant it in the ground. You fertilize and water it for 5 years and you don't see anything. Sounds a whole lot like that whole 1.001 doing the math, doesn't it? 5 years you don't do anything. At year 5, that plant breaks through the ground. It's already the diameter that it's going to be. It grows at up to 4 feet a day. And within 5 weeks, it can be upwards of 90 feet tall, 80 to 90 feet tall. Now, 4 feet a day, 4 feet in 24 hours, that's 48 inches in 24 hours. It's growing 2 inches an hour. Like, that's crazy. You could literally sit there and watch it grow. Okay? That's what this 38.4 guy looks like. You're like, I cannot believe what is going on. They must just be that. You must be a genius, Tiff. I can't believe what you've done. Look at this. This is amazing. They didn't see the 0.001 over and over and over. Even whenever I was sick and I didn't feel like it, even whenever it was raining outside, even whenever blah, blah, whatever you want to lay out in front. That's the thing. What I see is the problem really is that people, and I do it too. I mean, I'm saying people as in humans. We overestimate what we can do in a short frame, and we grossly underestimate. We really don't see compounding. We grossly underestimate what we can do in 5 or 10 years with consistent effort. We just don't think. We're just not thinking. So like I said, I already spoiled it. The solution is discipline. The solution is to do the workout, change the diet, do the reading, take the time to meditate, take the time to pray, have the conversation, take the risk, push the boundary. Like, that's it. Change how you're thinking. Change how you're thinking. So it's just discipline and just action. And here's the roadblock. The roadblock to the whole thing is you. Is your own stinking mind. Because the first thing that happens is you get to 30 days and you see 1.03 and you're like, it's not going to work. You know, we've been watering this freaking plant and fertilizing it for like 6 months, and I don't think it's growing. Let's dig it up and make sure. Let's see what. Well, you dig it up and you got to start over. Now, you know, you just blew the whole thing. Your Chinese bamboo ain't going to shoot out of the ground and grow because you just blew it. So the roadblock is every time you make a decision toward doing something right and toward getting better, you need to understand that your mind will tell you it's not going to work. That it didn't work last time. That cheesecake sure does look good. You know, really and truly won't hurt. Just do a little cheat. I heard something Kobe Bryant said in an interview that I thought was fantastic, and it's you never negotiate with yourself. Think about negotiation. In a negotiation, there's always a winner and a loser, right? Guess what happens when you negotiate with yourself? You're always a loser. Every time. You never, ever negotiate with yourself. The roadblock is this thing. That's what it is. And then having the fortitude, the discipline, the focus to say, nope, I tell you what, I'll plan a cheat meal, I'll plan a day off, and then I'll keep the promise that I made to myself. That's what I'll do. But today, no, there is no off. I'm not renegotiating in the midst of battle. You're going to lose every time. The Bible says that we're made in the image of God. Things that are very simple, high truth things are very simple. That is so vital to realize that. It just put a different perspective on stuff. And it's time we act that way and start thinking that way. 2%, top two out of 100, whatever that number is, it's attainable. I wish it was 98%. I wish you could, everybody was that, but it's just not. People will fall to their own, they'll negotiate with themselves and they'll lose. So, as far as encouragement goes, don't negotiate with yourself. Do what it takes. Understand compounding and win.